Hi, happy June. I'm Celeste, and I'm going to be reading today about the Beaver spirit and the Bee spirit. I pull from the spirit animal. I pull from the spirit animal deck, oracle deck, and just the other day I was contemplating like what animal I should speak about next. And I got these two cards, and this happens to be number 6, and then this happens to be number 7, and they both start with a B, so that got me pretty excited. They just popped out one, and then I was like, should I do another one? And then the bee spirit came out. So we're going to start with the beaver, and we're going to end with the bee spirit using Animal Speak by Ted Andrews and whatever insights come up. So we have the bee spirit. It says in this card, lay a solid foundation. And yeah, I suppose we'll read from the guidebook first, and then we'll speak on what Animal Speak is saying. Okay, so number 6, Beaver Spirit. Lay a solid foundation. Beaver Spirit is here to tell you about a power living within you that is born of spirit, the source from which all life arises. This is the power to establish the sacred connection with the universal consciousness so you can deliberately co-create the world you desire. Know that it takes work, determination, and sustained effort to co-create a solid foundation for your dreams. If, with spirit as your partner, you bring the twigs and branches of your intentions and desires and spread them across the river of time, you'll be amazed at what you can do. You will find that you can even change the direction of the flow of life. You can ensure that your world will be prosperous and purposeful, filled with love and joy, and rich with magic and meaning. That which you desire will come to you and remain sustainably if you build on a sturdy foundation. Keep your intention and energy consistent and deliberate, using all your resources and the energy of this wonderful, productive time. Have faith, for with Spirit to co-create with you, your success is assured. Spirit is your partner, helping you along as you change the course of your life in the way your heart desires. I like that. It's pretty much, to me, speaking of your personal power in creating the life that you want for yourself. And I do apologize for blurriness. I'm recording on my web camera on my my Windows computer. So yeah, taking the power of creating your own life into your hand, it's pretty much saying like we're not really victims like we sometimes tell ourselves that we are. We're not always just at the whim, or like we can shift our way of thinking, we can shift our personality, we can shift our decisions and actions, and that is what can create something for us that is much more satisfying and fulfilling than we originally even planned. And I love it that there's this like these orange feathers on his head, or like hanging on his ear. It's kind of like listen to the insight from the ear, and really evolve your consciousness, evolve your mindset around whatever is going on in your life. What's happening in your life that you're dissatisfied with, and maybe evaluating how and why, how you've gotten to that point of where you are, and evaluating how you want to do things differently in order to create a different result for yourself, and knowing that you have the power to create that difference. And it can start small. It doesn't have to be big. I mean, a dam isn't I don't know if a beaver can build a whole dam or whatever their home in a day. But it takes one branch at a time, one stick at a time. Start with that seed of thought in your mind. Start with that one step in your process and see how over time your intentions evolve and grow something that you intended to grow. And know that you're capable of doing that. Okay, I did already... I like this too because I'm just looking at the tail. Obviously we're diving into the beaver spirit together. Where I live, I don't see a beaver running around anywhere. But this tail here, it's like the thing that they pat down the wood to create like a compact foundation. And the beaver is really using the resources at its fingertips. The beaver is not stressed out about where to find the materials to build its home. They are aware that they can build with exactly what's right in front of them, right in their environment. And so I feel like, and especially with the number 6 too, I'm just thinking like, it's really about tuning into where you are currently, not freaking out too much about like how you're going to get something to create what you want, but seeing that you already have so much right in front of you, right at your fingertips, right under your nose, right under your butt. Like it's right there for you to start creating. And maybe you intended to create one thing and then realized, you want to go in a different direction because you have the tools to create that one thing in this direction, and kind of surrendering to the tools and the resources that have already been provided to you, that are already there. And then it's the number 6. So it's a motherly, it's a nurturing sort of energy. And, 6 is, mother, nurture, home, this could have to do with, just creating like the home life that you want for yourself, or whatever foundation means to you. Whatever, for me, foundation might mean like, security, comfort, family. Family could be friends, and just, the 6 is about just like nurturing something. So putting that effort in and giving the love that you have to give to it, and allowing it to grow from your love and from your intention and your investment in that thing. So we're going to read the Beaver Spirits. Okay. I'm using, I sometimes use my tarot cards as bookmarks, and the one that I'm using for the beaver is Strength, and it was just a random card that came up, but I feel like it's relevant. Strength to see things through, strength to have the patience, strength of mind to know and believe that you can do it, and that you've already created a lot so far in your life. You've already made lemons out of lemonade. You've already built things from what you've been given. You've already evolved that the gifts that you have been given, you've gifted forward as well. And you've always had the strength to do that. And it's a reminder that you still have that strength in you. Even when it's sometimes hard, or you might feel sometimes defeated in your efforts, there's always a direction. Like a tree, there's so many different directions that the branches take, but it's still the same tree. So there's so many different pathways to get to where you want to go as well. And just being aware that you're fully capable. Okay. Beaver. Keynote is the building of dreams. Woo! Okay. And this is a reminder. I pulled these cards at night. It was like 10 o'clock when I pulled them. It's 8:30 right now when I'm recording in springtime. So the cycle of power is dusk and night. The beaver is the strongest of the rodent family. It disappeared from Europe and Asia and is found now only in this hemisphere. I don't know what hemisphere it's talking about. Anyway, it is adapted for life in the water. It has webbed feet and its tail serves as a rudder. It is an excellent swimmer and it can stay submerged for up to 15 minutes at a time. It has extra large lungs and it can take in more oxygen and tolerate more carbon dioxide than humans. Because of this, beaver can also teach lessons about breath and its control for the greatest health and effectiveness. Pause. Yes, breath is very potent, powerful for a lot of things. For your physical health, for your nervous system, for your mental health. For me, I notice when I do breath work, it evolves my state of mental consciousness. I can notice the quality of my thoughts elevating. And yeah. And with having large lungs and being able to hold in air for 15 minutes, I'm kind of thinking like even taking 15 minutes a day just to breathe and just feel the sensations in your body and just tune in is just a really good way to grow and develop that relationship to yourself and to really tune in and listen to yourself. And one thing that I know is when you retain the breath after an inhale and you hold it with full lung capacity, it will enhance your energy. It'll wake up your mind. It might give you more stamina throughout the day. If you retain your breath on the exhale after releasing fully, it'll relax your body. You'll start to feel like you're kind of sinking in and grounding. It'll help slow your mind and relax your mind. And so I like to experiment and explore how that makes me feel. I might breathe in for as long as I can, as much as I can, and hold for as long as I can, and just feel that energy rising or moving through my body, and then exhale all the way and feeling that, and then doing it again. And just noticing what comes up for you. It says, water has long been associated with emotions and with dreams. One of the most common dreams the average person has is to have a home and family. And I mean, I'm thinking like dreams projected into the future and also dreams while you're sleeping too. So there might be something for you there to maybe, I know for myself, I'm not exempt from these cards. Like I've definitely been recording my dreams recently. And for me, I definitely derive meaning from my dreams and sometimes prophecy from my dreams. And it definitely helps me become more aware in my waking life. It brings me insight from my waking life. And oftentimes I might wake up in those first few moments from waking, I'll have some kind of like profound insight. And so it might be suggested to, write these insights down first thing in the morning, just taking a few moments every morning to just reflect on what you were dreaming about. But yeah, one of our most common dreams the average person has is to have a home and family. This dream is embodied by the beaver. It lives in a close-knit family, and beavers will mate for as long as both are alive. If beaver has appeared in your life, it can reflect the opportunity to build upon your dreams. your dreams, whatever that is, whether that's family and home or whatever it is for you. Beavers are also master home builders. They perform magnificent feats of engineering in the felling of trees and the building of dams. Their homes can have intricate canals, and they keep their dams in constant repair. This magnificent skill at building may even link those with this totem to the ancient and mystical Masons. A study of the Masonic tradition may open many doors. Something there too is with the number 6 too, and it says maintaining, what does it say? Oh, yeah, they said they keep their dams in constant repair. And then it's the number 6, so it's nurturing. It's nurturing what you already have, taking care of what you already have, cleaning, tidying up your home, cleaning your dishes, just keeping what you have good, showing appreciation by caring for your space, for your body, for your environment, and for what you've already created so far. A beaver lives less than 12 years in the wild. Its most noticeable characteristics are its large incisor teeth and its tail. One of the reasons that the beaver is always chewing is that its teeth continue growing until it dies. Without the chewing, the teeth would become too large and it would be unable to eat. If a beaver loses a tooth, it will usually die. For those with the beaver as a totem, proper dental hygiene and care will be essential. Tree bark is the beaver's favorite diet, and poplar and aspen are its favorite trees. I love a good quaking aspen tree. They're so pretty. Especially in the wind. They look like sequences. Anyway. I keep losing my place. The actual... Where am I? Oh, okay. The actual tree felling is accomplished through teamwork. One beaver rests and keeps watch while another chews. The trees are often stored in the dam and provide food throughout the winter. Although some see the beaver as a pest, it actually serves wonderful benefits. Its felling of trees enables brush to grow, thus providing food for deer and moose. Its dams even help make farmlands for humans. A beaver pond will fill with silt. When the beaver leaves it, eventually the dam in that pond will break. The water drains off, leaving a flat pocket of rich soil. To me, that's so beautiful. It's like a beautiful compliment that your presence is a wonderful impact. You are not a burden. Your effects on the world are necessary and beneficial and beautiful. And you may, even with this spirit, you might feel like you don't have a home, or you're lost, or you don't know where you are or where you're going, or that you don't have a belonging, but you do belong and you're right where you're supposed to be. And that's exactly where you belong. If Beaver has come into your life, ask yourself some important questions. Have you been neglecting your most basic needs? Are your dreams in need of some repair? AKA evaluating, redirecting. Are you or others around you becoming too lost in their dreams, always dreaming and never acting upon them? Is your home in need of repair? To me, this is also speaking of like the balance of the mental, our desires, our dreams, what we want, and what the reality is. How close are they in alignment? And when they're not, do we fall into escapism? Are we just in la la land, daydreaming, and not tending to the details in our life, taking action to make our dreams possible? because of that like resistance and the dislike of what already is and the annoyance of it. Like sometimes it's just annoying to have to keep on making the changes happen, but that's what we're here to do. It's okay to rest though as well. When you gotta rest, when you're stressed and tired, that's the best time to rest. Remember that the beaver reminds us that we have to act on our dreams to make them a reality. When it shows up, it is a time for action. Beaver can show you how to construct wonderful dreams. Woo! That's the beaver spirit. Tell me what you think down in the comments about the beaver spirit. If you've had any dreams about the beaver spirit, or if you live somewhere where you see beavers, or what you're getting from that. Okay, so now we have bee spirit. Bzz, bzz. Just kidding, that sounds more like a fly, I think. Anyway, it says, sweet results await. I love that. And it's the number 7. So it's literally consecutive. And I like this deck. I love this deck. I mean, what I wanted to say anyway is it's alphabetical, and I just appreciate that for me. I'm able to make sense of the numbers and the order that they placed these animals in the deck. Anyway, bee spirit, number 7. Where ya at? Where ya at? Sweet results await. The bee spirit's message is that sweet rewards are on their way if you are willing to get your ego out of the way and immerse yourself in the connected energy of all things. Immerse yourself. Bee spirit knows not to let a sense of being a separate self get in the way of a good thing. Spirit is always producing honey. Miracles and magic are everywhere. When you connect with the great hive, you are vibrating and buzzing in exquisite harmony with all. Bee spirit asks that your focus to be Bee spirit asks that your focus be on connectivity. Yeah, I've been feeling that. Your body, heart, soul, and psyche experience total interconnectedness and a true integration when you self-forget. Forget yourself, boo. When you remember that you are part of a greater unified consciousness. Yeah. This one's really speaking to me. I'm a little bit excited. I've been thinking about like oneness a lot more recently. That you are me and I am you kind of thing. Moving from separation into connection. From self-centered limitation to spirit-centered infinite possibility and potential, you become busy as a bee, enjoying the gifts of bee spirit. Fully in alignment with your highest expression of yourself, your heart opens and creativity rushes through you seemingly without effort as you experience that nothing feels like work. Industriousness is driven by enthusiasm and inner motivation, and time seems to fly by quickly as the hive supports you in the making of honey. Do you feel the presence of your helpers in the hidden realms, adding their energy to your creations? Magical results are taking form and will be sweeter than you expect. Bee spirit wants you to remember that your part in the divine partnership with the conscious universe is being rewarded even when you can't see that yet. Hold on. I'm just going to silence. Somebody is calling me. Even when you can't see that yet. And asks that you share your good fortune as there is plenty of honey for all. Be a part of the larger whole, the force that brings forth all that is sweet and delightful. I realized I didn't read because there's a protection message for each one too. Maybe I'll read those at the end. So yeah, this is speaking about stepping outside of yourself a little bit. It's good to be aware of yourself, but not when it's to the point where it's kind of like neurosis, when you're too caught up in yourself that anything you do, you're too worried about what other people might think of you, that you don't do anything, that you don't create what you want to create or be who you truly want to be or that you truly are. I've been thinking about oneness in the sense of anything that I experience outside of myself is a reflection, is a mirror of what's going on within myself. Whether it's something I like and appreciate or something I don't like and appreciate, it's all, an oracle once told me it's like a soul signature. Like everything that I'm experiencing, the synchronicities that happen for me are meant for me and it's something that my soul signature projected outwardly for me to see, to become more aware of myself and of life in general. And when we're just too caught up in ourselves and we're in this mode of separateness, the illusion of separateness, washed away in that illusion, it can really get in the way of us creating a lot of magic and connecting in really powerful ways, because we forget to see ourselves in other people, and we assume the worst in other people and other beings, and that's just no way to live, honey. Honeybee. So yeah, I mean, I've been working on this too. The bee has a stinger and it's there for that self-protection, but the bee also loves to, buzz around from flower to flower, and the way that they collect their pollen, they like roll around and like caress up against these beautiful fluorescent, smell good flowers, and they're very sensual creatures to me. And if a bee were just so worried about being like stomped on, and if a bee uses its stinger, it's gonna die. Like if the stinger breaks off, the bee will die. And so for me, I feel like in my life too, I've just been thinking about like, how to feel safe, how to cultivate a sense of safety and security, and self-preservation and protection, but also being aware of not being too overprotective of myself, that I miss out on connecting with the world, that I end up, staying in my home for 2 days or just way too long, and not getting out there and interacting. And when I do allow myself to step out into the world and buzz around and explore, I realize how sweet and beautiful the world is, how life is, and a lot of the fears are really just wrapped up in my head. And this card is the number 7. So it's a very spiritual number. It's about, bringing whatever is from above down into the ground, into reality. And what we think has a lot of say as far as what's created for us. And sometimes when we're operating in a state of fear, and thinking that the world is out to get us, even though we are the world, because we are one, it can be like life-taking. It can kind of suck the life out of you, that fear can. And so I feel like it's an awareness of our thoughts and a stepping out on faith, and sweet results await. So doing what we can, stepping outside of our ego, and just surrendering to the process and being open to the results of our faith and our creations. So I'm gonna read. I'm just thinking too about, I don't know, there's, the honeycomb patterns in the background. Oh. Yeah, so the honeycomb, like, what is that, a pentagon? there's like 6 sides to that shape, if you know what I'm saying. And it honestly, it almost looks like there's just one wing, which is crazy because actually yesterday when I stepped outside, the first being I saw was a bee on the ground and it had only one wing, so it was just walking. But still, that bee is being, okay? Even with its scars and quote unquote imperfections. And another thing is like there's so much connotation to the bee. Like there's a lot of people that are afraid of the bee, and maybe, for the sake of protection or the illusion of separateness, maybe some of us prefer to be sort of feared by strangers or others, to not be, taken advantage of or hurt or harmed in any way. But really, the bee is about energy. The bee is about vibration. The bee sees colors that we don't see in flowers. Bees are calm when you are calm. Bees want to be in peace as well. And so there's something there too. And then the results, sweet results await. Like, honey is like a sticky thing. So it's like as soon as the honey's made, it's like, it's sticking, okay? It's going to stay, okay? Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Okay? Okay, the bee. And the card that I have for this one is the Knight of Wands, which is pretty cool because I think it's saying like, act on what your desires are, act out on faith. The Knight of Wands isn't really afraid to get things done. The Knight of Wands is actually kind of like a little bit more arrogant, you could say, almost. Like they're very confident in what their desires are and what their intentions and ambitions are, and they're going for it. And this Knight of Wands, he's like wrapped up in like some beautiful garments, and there's just like a lot of patterns in here. For me, that's kind of saying like the Knight of Wands, he's going for what he wants because he knows that he's already accomplished what he's wanted in the past as well. So just being aware of your power and, yeah, the grace that has been bestowed upon you. Okay. Keynote: fertility and the honey of life. Bees have been mythical symbols throughout the world. In Hinduism, depending upon how depicted, the bee could relate to Vishnu, Krishna, or even Kama, the god of love. In Egypt, it denoted royalty. In Greece, it was used in the symbology of the Eleusinian mysteries, and the Celts associated it with hidden wisdom. Wow! I didn't know all this. Okay. Probably the most significant and consistent symbolism is that of sexuality and fertility, due primarily to its stinger and its part in pollination. Bees are, okay, that's cool. That also kind of goes with the Knight of Wands in a more, sexual, sensual sort of way. Okay. Bees are also long-time symbols for accomplishing the impossible. For many years, accomplishing the impossible, okay? For many years, scientists were unable to determine how bees were able to fly. Aerodynamically, the body was too large for the wings. It has only been in more recent times that science has determined that bees move their wings at such a high rate of speed that it makes flight possible. Still, it remains to many as a symbol of accomplishing quests that appeared to be impossible. That's freaking right. You can do it. You can do it. All bees are essentially honeybees. They gather and pollinate. Bees are often considered the busiest and most useful of insects. Without them, no flowers and many fruits would never blossom. We need your action. We need it. We need your faith. It occurs through the pollination. As the bees land upon one flower, collecting its nectar, pollen also attaches itself to the leg fibers. It is then transferred to other flowers, creating a fertilization process. Pollination is just one productive process the bee participates in. It also furnishes food, i.e., honey, and it also preys on other insects, helping to keep the insect population in balance. Whoa, I did not know that. Bees that build their homes in the ground help turn over the soil, often much better than the earthworm itself. Whoa. Okay, I'll stop. Okay. If a bee has shown up in your life, examine your own productivity. Are you doing all you can to make your life more fertile? Are you busy enough? Are you taking time to savor the honey of your endeavors? Or are you being a workaholic? Are you attempting to do too much? Are you keeping your desires in check so they can be more productive? The legs of bees are one of their most sensitive organs. A bee actually tastes through its legs. Wow, I was wondering. This shows they got hairs, you know? I know for sure the butterfly and the moth also taste through the hairs on their legs. It is able to determine if there is nectar in the flower it lands upon. Whoa, that's cool. Are you taking time to enjoy the labors and activities you involve yourself in? The bee helps remind us that activities are more productive and sweeter if we can take time to enjoy them. The stinger is often seen as a phallic symbol. Most bees only sting once. There is a barb attached to the stinger, which pulls the stinger off when used. The queen can sting more than once, but it only fights when another queen is born. Okay, sorry. Most bees have organized communities. This is most evident in the bumblebee family. There are the queen, the drones, and the workers. The first brood the queen lays become workers, and they take over the building and maintenance of the nest. Bees, like ants, are excellent builders. The honeycombs are constructed in a six-sided shape called a hexagon. Hexagon, that's what they're called. They're in the background of the bee, in the honeycomb. This geometric shape has long been mystical significance associated with it. It is a symbol of the heart and the sweetness of life found within our own hearts. It is a symbol of the sun and all the energies associated with it. The sun being warm, light-giving, life-giving, nourishing, comforting. For me, I love the sun. Yes. The bee is the reminder to extract the honey of life and to make our lives fertile while the sun shines. Yep. The bee reminds us that no matter how great the dream, there is the promise of fulfillment if we pursue it. The elixir of life is as sweet as honey, and the bee is a symbol that promises us that the opportunity to drink of it is ours if we but pursue our dreams. So yeah, I feel like both the beaver spirit and the bee spirit are speaking about getting really clear on what we want what our dreams really are, what our aspirations are, what we're here to create. Excuse me. What we're here to create, and how are we going to develop that creation? How are we going to create the solid foundation to create the results that we want, that are sweet and fulfilling and satisfying? How can we balance our relationship to ourselves, to our environment, and to our friends and family, the people around us, the people closest to us? Because both of these creatures, they rely on their community as well to support them in their dream crafting. They both go out and utilize resources from the environment. They are both busy creating and making an impact. And they're both doing. They're doers. These are doer energies. So we can sit around and get really clear, evaluate what we want, and then we got to take action. And through that action, we will see the results. And then when we see those results, we can reevaluate and keep making more action to see the results again. Yeah. So now I'm going to read the protection part of each of these. I'm going to take a sip of the water. Beaver spirit has come. Okay, so usually the protection message, apparently in this guidebook, it says it should be when it's in the reverse. So I guess I'll hold it in reverse and we'll see. Beaver spirit has come to warn you to check for rotten wood in the foundations of your dreams. Perhaps you built your hopes on faulty promises or wishful thinking that something would work out just because you wanted it to. Maybe you made choices from a place of unworthiness, hoping that once you got what you desired, it would somehow change you and make everything better. And you had to face the truth that it didn't. Or Beaver Spirit may be telling you it is time to accept things as they are and perhaps consider abandoning the project, relationship, or situation so you can make room for something better. Perhaps you need to go back and rebuild a solid foundation because what you desire may not be in alignment with what your soul intends. Beaver Spirit says you can always get busy and build something fresh and new if the desire is true. All manner of miracles can spring up from a new, strong foundation when you remember your partnership with Spirit. Be clear about what you're building and why, choosing from a place of worthiness, well-being, and wholeness. Self-understanding and acceptance will provide you with a solid blueprint to begin again. Self-understanding and acceptance will provide you with a solid blueprint to begin again. Get busy now. Beaver Spirit says this is not a time to procrastinate, but a time to start building again. Always mindful of the foundation you are laying, trusting that Spirit is co-creating with you. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and then we got the Bee Spirit protection message. When Bee Spirit comes as your protector, she asks you to be very honest with yourself, similar to the Beaver one. Do you want to taste the sweet honey others have been making, but you believe is unattainable for you? It's like comparison and things. Do you wonder how others ended up with so much magical honey when you seem to have none? Have you bought into the illusion of separation and become convinced that you can't have what others in the hive enjoy? Do you separate from the hive to do it all on your own? Or to hoard what honey you have, unwilling to trust that there is plenty of support and plenty of sweetness to go around? If you have been overworking and overdoing and have not given yourself any time to enjoy the sweetness of your life. Bee Spirit is telling you to stop and recharge. Perhaps you're afraid that if you don't get something done, it just won't get done. However, even busy bees need to take a break, and when they do, the honey still gets made. So remind yourself that sweetness is everywhere and available to you always when you need it. Yeah, so I feel like both of these kind of in the reverse. It's saying sometimes we get so wrapped up in overprotection or separateness that we think that we have to do it all ourselves, and that can create a sense of burnout and exhaustion and dissatisfaction and disinterest in what we are creating. And sometimes we need to take that break. Sometimes we need to open up and ask for support and help. Sometimes sharing is caring, and sharing is also bearing more sweetness. I was trying to find something that rhymes. So yeah, we don't have to do it all on our own. And also, sometimes when we are relaxing and we step into the feminine aspect of life, into receiving, sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes life is ebb and flow. You do, and then you rest. What they say is, when you're doing, God rests. When you rest, God is busy. So sometimes you do what you can up to a certain point, and then you have to let spirit take over and create the rest for you. You're not responsible for it all. You're working in partnership with God, with spirit, with the elements of this world. It's just like making art. When you have a vision in mind to paint a painting, you might have one specific vision, but as soon as you get to creating it's likely going to come out a little bit differently than what you imagined, because you're working with the elements of time, energy, space, the paint, the canvas, the brushes you use. It's all in co-creation. When I create a dance, I might have an image in my mind, but when I go to create it, my body has certain skills and certain limitations, and I might be dealing with other people as well, and personalities and time, space, energy, all of these things, these nuances. That's what makes creation beautiful, in my opinion, is surrendering. It's not just about me, and it's about evolving and being open to how that creative process influences the self. So yeah, I think that both of these messages, the beaver and the bee, are saying be encouraged to do what you are called to do. And I wish you the best of luck on your endeavors. And I know you can do it. I have faith that you're capable. Take a break when you need to, rest when you need to, and just say this is a chance for the universe to kind of do what it needs to do. And then once you're clear on the direction you want to take again, get to it and have faith, and know that your efforts do come with some sort of reward, and that you're totally capable of creating what you want in your life. Much love to you.